Robert Swan once said that the greatest threat to our planet is the belief that someone else will save it. Now, talking about saving our planet, did you know that if we recycled all our newspaper, we would save 250 million trees each year? Today on the show, we talk about recycling, not of newspapers, but plastic bottles. My name is Shaban, and this is ECOZONE. Plastic is one of the most disposable materials in the world. Plastic bottles are increasingly becoming a menace to the environment. On the other hand, the human population is growing at an alarming rate. If you think about it, this means that there's more need for accommodation facilities. Trouble is, construction materials are very costly. So we ask, can you use plastic bottles as construction material? Well, this wall in the back is proof enough that this can actually happen. Millions, if not billions, of plastic bottles are discarded every year, with most making their way to landfills, the ocean, or in poorer countries. According to the National Environment Management Authority, approximately 600 tons of plastics are disposed of in Kampala every day, of which the vast majority litter the city and clog vital sewage systems. The Social Innovation Academy, located in PG, is a self-organized informal and residential learning environment that transforms marginalized youth into social entrepreneurs. The scholars aged 17 to 27 transform their own personal tragedies into a social enterprise, disrupting root causes of social problems.
SINA is a learning environment where especially marginalized youth from difficult backgrounds, for example orphans or former street children, refugees, people from difficult backgrounds, learn to unleash their passions, their talents, and create their own social enterprises in the end that transforms their own difficult stories into the basis to help other people to not go through a difficult experience. Yeah, so the journey that created SINA has started over 10 years ago. When I came to Uganda the first time as a volunteer, 10 years ago, I lived in an orphanage and saw that the kids couldn't finish schooling. They dropped out of after primary school, and I started a sponsorship program for them, which continues up to today. And in 2013, the first generation of these kids finished their high school, but then couldn't find jobs, couldn't go to university. Unemployment for youth is a big challenge, so it looked a little bit like a waste that they couldn't become self-sustainable and do something productive for the society. So we sat together and decided we need to create a place where we would start our own jobs, and that has then become SINA, which is now also open not just for the orphans that we have supported since over 10 years, but also for other youth coming from different backgrounds from all over the country and even from outside countries to unleash their talents, produce something of value to them and to value to the society. Yeah, so there has been a German guy in South America that has been using plastic bottles to construct houses since about 10 years. And I saw a post of him doing that, and I thought, wow, that's a great idea. When we start SINA, I think we can do something similar to spark the creativity of the youth, to see that waste can be used as something productive, and you don't even need much money to start a business, but you need resources. And many resources are available for free, like plastic bottles or other waste materials. So we learned the technique, and we have been using it to construct our own learning spaces out of it, and the whole community comes together and builds the spaces, and that creates a shift in their mind because they see that what else is possible, what else can I do? If plastic bottles can be used for constructing houses, why not also use eggshells and plastic bags to do a flooring or to do roofings out of jerrycans, and the sky is the limit. Biggest benefit that we see is the mindset shift that it creates for the youth. Because waste can be seen as a problem, but it can also be seen as a resource to create projects, to create income, to create businesses and jobs in the end. And it has inspired many youth in Uganda, even beyond, in other countries as well, to use creative methods of how to use waste to produce something that can be of value, which is called upcycling, using waste materials to produce something of higher value. And that has really created a lot of impact already.
A holistic entrepreneurial concept that tests and incubates ideas into profitable and impactful social enterprises, some of which include terrazzo, flooring from plastic bags and eggshells, reusable sanitary pads, early breast cancer detection through blind women, rural solar systems, fashion and accessories, and plastic bottle construction. In recent years, most notably in Africa, Nigeria in particular, and in Central and South America, initiatives have been taken to turn plastic bottles into building materials. In Nigeria alone, where 500 million plastic bottles are discarded each year, there is plenty of material that can be repurposed for construction. Use of these abundantly available low-cost materials and the involvement of indigenous communities for construction may be quoted as a good example of sustainability.
SINA is 3.5 years old, and we have built up to 8 structures here on site. We have where we've used only cement and sand, and others we've used mud. We have built even other structures out of Mpiji. For example, we have 3 more. We have one in Luwero, another one in Entebbe, and we've had some from Kenya. So basically, that is it for the bottles and the bottle construction. We've also tried using different types of roofing, not sticking to what is common, like iron sheets. So like you've seen around, we've used grass, we've used banana fibers, we've used car tires, and we've used the seaweed.
Firstly, bottles must be collected and sorted. About 14,000 bottles of uniform size are needed to make a 2-bedroom bottle house.
Always we collect these bottles from different areas, like around streets, where they collect the garbages, from Chitezi mostly, where we get these bottles from. On a daily basis we can collect like 400 bottles. Yes, then by the end of month we can have like 15,000 bottles.
The next material needed is sand. The sand is sifted through a sieve to remove leaves and foreign objects and to provide a relatively uniform grain size distribution. The plastic bottles are then filled and tightly packed with the sieved sand.
When compacting the bottles, after the filling process, we need to cover using the lid, the bottle lid. Like one person can make like 200 bottles.
Of this?
Yes.
Serious?
Yes, one person can fill this.
Yeah, if you get used.
Yeah.
Now you are not used.
I think I'm going to stick to TV presenting.
And like when it comes to someone who's like youths like us who are committed to do this, you can go with 300 bottles a day from morning to evening.
You said you work with people from the community
Yes.
and youth that are employed.
Yes.
Are there any incentives you give them, or this is like on a volunteer project?
For example, I will start with the widows and unemployed youths. They come here and with 2 reasons. One, to learn how to use these bottles.
Okay.
As they learn it, we also give them something to keep their, maybe their wallet, their, like to cater for other needs.
Making their wallet
Yes.
smile. Huh?
Yes, smile.
So you said you could either use maram or
Anthill soil
anthill soil.
or red soil.
Are there any preferences of which one is better, or is it just a question of availability?
We use available resources, mostly like we don't use topsoil, the loam soil, for agriculture. That's why we're using this maram or anthill soil that are not good for agricultural purpose.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Then after compacting, you use the lid so that the bottles, the soil or the maram cannot get out of it.
Once filled, the bottle becomes a brick of sorts that can be used as a basis with which to build a solid structure.
So this is our stage 2.
I'm using the sticks. Which one do you want me to?
Like that one
It's already
cannot.
full.
Ah.
Did it! Yay!
It took like forever.
So
Alright, so when you have this is your brick.
yes,
Ready.
this is our.
Is that good
but
enough for me?
This is now bottle brick.
Bottle brick.
Yes.
So how just to compare his and mine,
Mm-hmm.
this is better. This is much better. So after this, what happens?
After coming up with after compacting your blocks, your bottle blocks, you can call bottle blocks of bricks. And how do you feel?
Well,
How-
it feels very strong.
Yes, yes. These bottle bricks last for more than 1,000 years. Reason, because of the compaction process and even the bottles itself, it cannot get rotten. You cannot burn these bottles when it's compacted with soil.
So in other words, you can leave the house for your grandchildren, your grandchildren's children, your grand. The list is endless. That is if you're going to live in your house for 1,000 years.
1,000 years.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah.
so after this,
After
what
having
do
your
we do?
blocks, you go to the site.
Is
the
that where we're
construction
going?
site? Yes.
Construction site, we go. It is difficult to think of a plastic bottle as a brick, right? But guess what? A mud-filled plastic bottle is as strong as a brick. And whatever it is you can do with a brick, you can definitely do with a plastic bottle. But for now, ECOZONE takes a short break.